Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Sandy, and in today's video, we're going someplace we have no business going at all, and that is Hobby Lobby. So if you are like me and just could not resist this 70% off sale, keep on watching. Now, I was pleasantly surprised that my Hobby Lobby still had quite a bit of really nice items in here at 70% off. Typically, my store, once it gets to 66% off, they pretty much clear out, but they still have a lot of items in. I do predict, though, that by the time it goes to 90% off, assuming that it does, they won't have very much because it was pretty crowded in here, and some of the shelves were starting to empty out, and they are starting to put out your Valentine's Day and St. Patty's Day and that type of thing. But there are still some really, really nice gems in here. I really like these giant jumbo balls here. And then they had a lot of that gauze type of ribbon. They had a lot of table runners as well. And I was really looking at those because sometimes you can find some that you're able to use for more than one season. And I love that. So I like to find things that I can use, throughout the year or at least for a couple seasons out of the year. I really did like this particular runner here. It was kind of like that Berber type of look, and I thought that would be pretty as a table runner for Christmas as well as through the winter season. They also had these placemats here, and these were in the black fur. Wasn't a real fan of those, but that could be a nice little piece, like to do a vignette if you're not into eating on fur, as I'm not. But yeah, I mean, there's something that you could do with them, and they were 70% off of all of the prices. Now, this table runner here, I did bring this home with me. I just thought that was so pretty with the trees on there and just a little hint of gold. Those are my colors. I love black and white with the hint of gold. So that did have to come home. I will say this: if you are one that loves the Grinch theme or the gingerbread theme or the candy uh, theme, sugar and spice theme, or whatever, this is a great time to add to your collection. They had a lot of the Grinch items left. As you can see here, they had pillows, they had decor, they had the little outdoor pieces here, like this very large life-size Grinch here that's marked down to $99 from $400. So they had some items here that were, a good deal if that is something that you're into. Now look at all those empty shelves there. Now those will be filled up within a day or so. They had a good selection of doormats here for the Christmas season. This is a good time to buy those and store them away. Now, this is something that caught my eye. I bought one of these this year in the gold color, and I really loved it. I just love the Sputnik look of it all. And so I decided that I wanted to pick one of these up in the silver. I mentioned that next year, one of my trees is going to be mercury glass, and I think that that will be a nice topper for that tree. So I picked that up. I like these letters to Santa, and they also have the faux gift boxes. All of those types of things, they still had a pretty good selection of those items, as well as coffee mugs and things like that, and things for your coffee station. So if you do a coffee station or a cocoa station, also a great time to stop by Hobby Lobby to see what they have left in your local stores. Sadly, they did not have a lot of garlands left in the store. These were the only ones, and this whole wall used to be full of garland. But this one is really pretty if you do a silver and red theme. I noticed that they had a lot of red items left, a lot of them. So if you like to use the traditional red color, they just might have it in your store too. That's the way it was set up at my store. Now, here are some of the gingerbread items that I spoke of. They had a lot of little teddy bears. They had this little choo-choo train made out of gingerbread. And then here are some deers. Now, I saw some deers throughout the store. Not a whole lot of them were left, but they did have a few of them. But I had to steer clear of them because I don't need them. But these were $32.99, and then you get the 70% off. So not bad at all. And like I said, by the time it goes up to 90%, those will probably be long, long gone. Now, again, I said I was going to do Mercury theme next year. And Hobby Lobby doesn't tend to have anything Mercury glass in, but I thought that these would blend in with Mercury glass. So I really like those. They have a little deer in them and a Christmas tree. So I did pick up a couple of those. They ended up being $3 a piece, so not bad at all. They had some other garlands left in the store as well. And also, I found these pine cones. Now, I have these already in my collection, but because they're 70% off and I can get them for just a little over $3, I figure I would pick these up just to add to my collection. I think they're so pretty. They're kind of like a copper color, and I used them this year in with my brown Christmas tree. Now, these were a treat to find. I never would have thought I would have found these. You know, these are the flocked ornaments, and they're in the color black. Have been very hard to find. In fact, I actually looked for them earlier in the season, and Hobby Lobby didn't have them. So I guess they got a shipment in at some point and they still had some left at 70% off. So I snagged myself 3 boxes of those. I always use black ornaments in my home because that's one of my staple colors. So although I did not use it this year, it definitely will be back. And the black ornaments are a welcome addition to my collection. Now, I know I said I wasn't buying anything, but yet here I am, and I am disappointed in myself in a way. But then again, I'm kind of happy that I did stop in because each of these items here are good additions to my collection. I did not go overboard at all. I stayed very focused. I was really looking for some mercury glass, but they didn't have any. And I really kind of knew that they never do have that. But anyway, I was looking at a lot of the silver items too. I saw these. I love these. They only had one of them left, so I did pick that up too. So it came home with me to add to my selection of silver ornaments. I thought these gazelles were really, really pretty and the deer, but again, I was trying to not go overboard and I didn't need any new deer. The store was extremely crowded, so it's very difficult to get this footage today because I'm trying to avoid people and, staying out of people's way and don't want them to get caught in the camera. So yeah, some of the prices I'm not able to kind of linger as long as I would have wanted to so that you can see them. But hopefully it gives you an idea of what may be left at your Hobby Lobby or what items they had. I love this garland, and if they had two of those, I would have picked those up. They were 21.99, and then you get 70% off of that, which is not bad at all. They had an abundance of silver and white ornaments. So if that's a color that you go for, they had a lot of the disco balls and effervescent uh, balls, Christmas decor balls, and deer and garland and all of the things. So if you like silver, definitely check it out, and see if you can find some at your local Hobby Lobby. And again, they had a lot of the snowflakes ornaments as well, and they had some Robert Stanley ornaments left, which I'm really surprised. These are so, so pretty, and I had to pass on them, but I wanted them so bad. That black and white, they are just so beautiful. I've been looking at those for the last couple years and have never bit the bullet to bring them home. Now, I had a couple of these ornaments this year because I did that jewel tone tree, but I'm not sure if I'm going to bring that back. So I didn't add any more of the jewel tones to my collection. I feel like I have enough to decorate if I do decide to come back with it next year. So I don't think I'm going to add anything else to it. This one is really nice here, but again, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it right there. They also had a lot of pink or rose gold colored ornaments as well. So if you like that color, definitely check it out. These seem like the ones that they had the larger selection of are the colors that weren't as popular this year. They had a lot left. I saw a lot of nutcrackers too, in the various different styles or whatever. These were really fun. The different color ones, and this one actually lights up. So I'm going to try to show you. If it did not have that blue cast to it, I probably would have been tempted to bring this home. But yeah, I left that there. But they did have a lot of nutcrackers in the store to choose from, and Santa Clauses too. And they just had this one nativity scene. I am looking for a nativity scene, but this is not the style that I'm looking for. But they did have one left here, and it was 18.99 with the 70% off. I don't know why I didn't stop at that candle set, but that flameless candle set there, that looked like that might have been a really good find as well. I love to have those type of flameless candles during the Christmas season. They had some sets of ornaments like these here. These are really pretty too, like for a peacock theme tree or a jewel tone tree. I think these are really pretty Robert Stanley ornaments. I think Robert Stanley makes some of the most beautiful ornaments. They're just so, so pretty. Those are probably my favorites at Hobby Lobby. During the or in the aisle where they have their picks, they have normally this is a two-sided aisle and they're full of picks on both sides. They only had one side, but they were pretty stocked and they had a lot to choose from. So you could get your poinsettias. They had a lot of sticks that you can just kind of fill in your tree with them. And yeah, they just had just random things that you might want to pick up a few items or whatever to add to a collection or to start a new collection because they had a lot of really pretty things. Pine cones and things like that were plentiful. Even though I wasn't supposed to be in here today and that was not the intent, I'm kind of glad I came through. It's kind of good to come in and kind of look. Like, as you can see, my basket does not have a whole lot in it. I pretty much shared as we've been walking through the store what I did pick up. So I'm okay with that. But it was fun to come in and kind of see what was left behind, what types of items that I may want to add whatever for my collection, but nothing was really tempting me to be perfectly honest. But it does not hurt to shop or window shop, I should say. Here's some more of the gingerbread items that we spoke of. Really nice little things. I love the gingerbread theme. I've just never started it, and at this point it would just be so expensive to start a new collection, so I probably won't ever do that unless I find a whole collection of it at 90% off or something like that. This is a nice little Santa art piece here, and 70% off of that price, which is not bad at all. So those are nice for those that like to switch out your art pieces for the holiday season. That's a great idea to do that. They also had some of those Christmas signs that you see on people's porches and things like that. This beauty here, I remember from last year. She is $48 and then 70% off of that. Really, really pretty. Real pretty piece, but I passed on it last year and I'm gonna pass again. But she's gorgeous. And it's worth it if you do come into a Hobby Lobby or any of the stores for that matter to shop at this time that you kind of go through every aisle because people pick up things, they think they're going to buy it and then they don't. And so it gets put back somewhere else in the store or whatever. I hate when that happens, but it does happen. So, just don't leave any stone unturned. Go down every aisle just to make sure you're not missing out on anything. So I want to come over to the kitchen section because I love little mugs and, tea towels and things like that. So I was looking to see if there are anything over here that caught my eye. I thought this peppermint runner was gorgeous. So pretty. But I walked by it because I typically do not decorate with red. So I just felt it would be something that would just be sitting here in my collection and never get used. I love these little aprons here. So nice and festive for the holiday season for baking cookies and that type of thing. And you can see that those had been 19.99, so 70% off of those is a great deal. Now tell me below, have you been to Hobby Lobby? Are you going to Hobby Lobby? Or are you going to wait until the sale increases to a little bit more, like the 90%, and just kind of see what you luck up on? That is certainly a great strategy, but here I find myself in here at 70% off, but I digress. They have a lot of water cups and things like that, a lot of those that were left there as well. And I would use those anytime. I wouldn't just, limit it to Christmas. And that's another thing that I like to look for when I do come in on the clearance sales is to look for things that I can use other times of the year because, that you get more bang for your buck, or better value for your money if it's something that you can use at different times. And a lot of the red items, if you decorate for Valentine's Day, you could potentially use them at that time or whatever as well. They had a whole aisle of these t-shirts and sweatshirts and things like that. And they had a lot of the Grinch. They had Hello Kitty, and just some of the themes that people are watching these days, like Bluey. I know that's real popular with the kids, but what's interesting is these shirts seem to be for adults. But yeah, whoever wants to wear it, I guess these are $50 for the heavier sweatshirts. And then they had some t-shirts that were less or more affordable. And again, you would get your 70% off. So they were a great deal. I am just amazed at the popularity of The Grinch, just year after year. I remember watching The Grinch when I was a kid, and it is still very, very relevant. So that's so cute to me. The kids just love The Grinch for whatever reason, and they come out every year with all of these Grinch items, apparel, as well as decor for your trees or around your home or whatever. That's crazy. But anyway, all these years later, it's still a thing. Hobby Lobby surprises me sometimes because honestly, I didn't even know they had this much apparel in the store. Had never noticed it before. And they also had some slippers. And I was looking in here to see if it was anything that I could use. I thought this was interesting. It's like a heated shirt, and they had them for women and men, and yeah, so they had them. I think they were 19.99, if I'm not mistaken. Please forgive me. It was very difficult to get prices in some cases, but they were on the clearance rack here, so I was looking at them just to see if I could find anything of interest. I didn't really have a use for this, but I was intrigued by it. So this is 11.99. So that's even better. Great deal for that. So if you're in a cooler climate or whatever, or you are outside, or going to sporting events or the kids' games, whatever the case may be, this might be a good little come up here. So check that out. If you go to Hobby Lobby and you need something like that, look for those items. They were over in near the kitchen area, which was kind of surprising. They also had these really nice warm socks. But what I came in here for was to really look at the stems. That's last thing I made it over here to look at. They didn't have a whole lot left, but I did. I was looking for some for the winter season. So again, I said just because it's a Christmas item or whatever, sometimes you can carry it over and use it right up till you begin to decorate for spring. So that's what I was really looking for. And I really wanted some white beads. So you see the red beads there. I wanted some with the white, which they did not have. But these kind of caught my eye. These are like some naked stems, but they got the little crystals on them to look like ice. And I seriously contemplated getting those. So you see, I'm putting it together to see if I want to go with them. I actually put them in my basket for a while, but I did return them to their proper place. Thank you very much. But yeah, I didn't find any stems in here this day. These were pretty too, and I think you could use those through the winter. They would be so pretty cascading over a vase. They had a lot of the little cedar picks and things like that with the red berries on them. But nothing that I was looking for. So I've decided to come home, look through my stash, and see what stems I have already that I can use for winter, because I'm sure I have something. There was really no need to buy anything new. But we are starting to get some glimpses of spring flowers coming in as well. Of course, they're not going to be on sale just yet, but they're putting them out. These were really pretty too, similar to the ones that I looked at earlier. It kind of looks like the ices on them. The one thing about those is that the stems don't bend. So there's that. So, you're kind of stuck with them being this tall unless you cut them, which I didn't want to do anything like that anyway. I like these little arrangements here with the Christmas balls. I usually kind of make something like this myself, just with some greenery and just kind of put some Christmas ornaments in it. But I thought it was interesting that they had this one already put together. It was $40, and with the 70% off, you get yourself a pretty good deal. But I left it right there because it's easy enough for me to make that with just some greenery and some Christmas balls with the colors that I want to use. Well, guys, we are nearing the end of this store walkthrough at Hobby Lobby. I hope that I've shared some things with you that you might be interested in, or if you're not in the market for anything, but you are curious about what's out there at the stores, hopefully this has satisfied that curiosity for you. I thank you so much for watching. And to all my returning family members, I appreciate you as well. If you're not currently subscribed, why don't you consider hitting that subscribe button before you leave today? And I hope to see you all over here on my next one. Bye bye.